Thank you for joining our Let's Get Fresh with CalFresh presentation. My name is Victoria Jamian. I am the Basic Needs Center Coordinator for Basic Needs Services. In today's presentation, we'll be talking about what CalFresh is, where CalFresh is accepted, the eligibility requirements for students, and we'll do an application overview of the process for CalFresh, including a demo application of what the actual Get CalFresh application looks like. So what is CalFresh? CalFresh is a nutrition assistance program that assists individuals and low-income households with purchasing fresh and healthy foods. Previously, it's been known as food stamps, and nationally, it's known as SNAP, which is a Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. SNAP is operated by the USDA and has been authorized by the Farm Bill. So the Social Services Department in the county of which you live determines the eligibility for individuals and households regarding CalFresh. And CalFresh benefits are approved amounts of assistance issued through an EBT card. So if you are approved for CalFresh, you would know the total benefit amounts you would be receiving monthly and what day of the month those benefits would be issued to your EBT card. CalFresh can actually be used at most grocery stores and farmers markets as well. You can see a list of some stores that accept CalFresh. This is not an exhaustive list, but this includes the farmers market for Orange County, places like Target, grocery stores like Vons, Northgate, Sprouts, etc. And then you can also see Walmart and Amazon are included as well with asterisks. So as part of the temporary COVID-19 expansion, Walmart and Amazon are authorized retailers where you can do online grocery orders with your EBT benefits. So again, that is just a temporary expansion where you can do online purchases for groceries. So if you're interested in where CalFresh is nearby you and how what stores are easily accessible to where you live, or maybe you've moved recently and you want to see what nearby locations are close to your new address, there's actually a SNAP Retail Locator. So to use this, you just search for SNAP Retail Locator, and then I will show you where it comes to. So you should come to this page, and then you can hit Enter the SNAP Retail Locator. And then we'll take you to the map of the United States, because again, SNAP is nationwide, but you can put in whatever zip code you like. So we're going to just put in the Fullerton zip code for today. And you can see within a 5-mile radius, there are 234 stores that accept EBT, which is awesome. But let's say you'd like to do something that's in walking distance to where you are. You can actually show results within a mile. So there are 9 within 1 mile of that address. So the closest one being the grocery outlet, and it's 0.14 miles away from where you are. So this is a great way of finding nearby stores. But I also mentioned that farmers markets are a place where you can use your EBT benefits as well. So there's a farmers market finder. So very similarly, you would search for the farmers market finder, and it would look like this. So let's put in the Fullerton address and essentially a list of different nearby farmers markets would come up. So for example, you can see there's a Placentia certified farmers market. It's year round. It's on Tuesdays from 3 to 7:30. And some vendors do accept CalFresh. And then you can also see, as you scroll down, there's a downtown Anaheim certified farmers market that's year round on Thursdays from 11 to 3, and it accepts CalFresh. And then there's a note that says market matches offered year round up to $10 per visit. So market match is a really cool benefit for your CalFresh benefits at farmers markets specifically that offer this. So what it is market match matches some of your EBT benefits up to a certain dollar amount. So for example, at Anaheim, it's up to $10 per visit. It's a way of making your EBT benefits go a little bit further. So again, you can use your CalFresh benefits both at grocery stores and at farmers markets, and there's ways to find which ones are nearby you and the benefits of those, for example, at farmers markets with Market Match. So if you're interested in CalFresh, there is certain eligibility criteria that individuals need to meet. So the first one is you either need to be a U.S. citizen, permanent resident, a refugee or an asylee, or a U or T visa holder. If you're undocumented on a temporary visa, including F or J visas, if you're a fleeing felon, or if you're a student who doesn't meet the student eligibility criteria, you most likely are ineligible for CalFresh. I do want to note with the asterisk that individuals may apply with an eligible household member. So if you have a mixed status household, meaning one person and maybe a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident, you could apply as a single household for CalFresh benefits. The second level of eligibility is based on your income, gross monthly income, based on your household size. So if you are the only one who purchases meals and purchases groceries and makes meals, and you would be considered a household of one, and you can't exceed a gross monthly income of $2,148. So gross meaning before taxes. So even if you live with, let's say, 3 roommates, if you're the only one that purchases your own groceries and makes your own meals, you would be considered a household of one. So again, based on your household size, you can't exceed a gross monthly income. So let's say you're interested in CalFresh, you meet the first two, and you're a student. What does that mean? So CalFresh defines students as individuals between 18 to 49 who are enrolled at least part-time or higher in an institution of higher education. Full-time being considered 12 units, part-time being up to 10 units for undergraduate and up to 8 units for graduate students. And students do need to meet another student exemption to be eligible for CalFresh. So you need to meet just one that you see on the screen. So working at least 20 or more hours a week or an average of 80 hours a month, being eligible for federal work study, having a 0 EFBC, estimated family contribution on your FAFSA, being enrolled in disability support services, being a Cal Grant A or Cal Grant B recipient, being a part of the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, or being a primary caretaker of a child 12 or younger. And again, you only need to meet one of those that you see on the screen. The asterisks next to eligible for federal work study and 0 EFC are temporary expansions due to COVID-19. So if this is how you meet that eligibility, you can potentially be eligible for CalFresh and go through the application process, but just note these could change. So what does the CalFresh application process look like? So the first step is to complete the online application. Basic Needs Services offers one-on-one application assistance, or this is something you can complete individually. After you submit your application, there is an interview with your county social services. After that, if you need to, you can submit any additional verification or documents to your caseworker. If you are approved for CalFresh benefits, you'd receive an EBT card and a PIN code mailed separately, and you would know that benefit amount and when it would be issued to your EBT card. And then you can start using your benefits. And these benefits, if approved, are good for 6 months. After 6 months, you would have to go through a recertification process. So how does Basic Needs Services provide application assistance? So the first step is we can do pre-screens for CalFresh eligibility. So we can do those during our drop-in hours. We do also have a pre-screen form on our website. So this is just our main CalFresh website here, but there's a pre-screen eligibility form. So if you prefer, you can complete this, and based on your responses, it will prompt you to let you know whether or not you're potentially eligible for CalFresh. You could submit a basic needs online request form. You can indicate food assistance and that you're seeking CalFresh application assistance, or you can do the CalFresh drop-in hours that we have. We have these Wednesdays and Thursdays from 2 to 4 on the 3rd floor of Titan Hall, or via Zoom. So we do offer a virtual option as well. And then we offer that application assistance. It is one-on-one, and we will help you submit your application. If you're not able to go through our drop-in hours, like I mentioned, you can submit an online request form. If you go to the main Dean of Students website, there's that Basic Needs Services request form. Again, you can indicate food assistance and that you're seeking CalFresh application assistance, and a member of our staff will reach out to you to schedule a meeting. So next, we're going to do a demo application for CalFresh. So there's some general information that you see on the screen. This is going to be for a 20-year-old male student, Titan, who is full-time, lives off campus with 2 roommates, but he purchases his own groceries, so he's going to be considered a household of 1. He works 20 or more hours a week at $15 an hour, and he is eligible for federal work study and received Cal Grant A. So you can already tell that Tuffy is meeting multiple student eligibility criteria. So we're going to do a demo application with his information. So this is what the demo application looks like. You can see it says demo at getcalfresh.org. But in this big orange banner, this is just for examples. But this is actually what the getcalfresh.org application looks like. So we're going to go ahead and get started by hitting apply now. Just a notice that some counties are a little bit more impacted, so there may be a processing delay, but this is an overview of how CalFresh works. Like I mentioned earlier, there's an application, submit documentation, have your interview with the county, and then if you're approved, you're going to get your EBT benefits. So we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to start with some basic information. So Tuffy lives in Fullerton, so we're going to use the Fullerton zip code, but you can also select your county instead if that's easier. You can select multiple languages, but we're going to use English for Tuffy. And Tuffy's name is Tuffy Titan. That's what appears on his ID. So who do you usually buy and make food with? So again, Tuffy said he lives with roommates, but he purchases his own food. So again, the note here, don't include roommates unless you buy and make more than half of your meals together. So this is just going to be a household of one here, but if you needed to, you can add multiple people. This is just asking if Tuffy's applied in the last year or so, just to make sure this is the right step for him, but he has not. So we're going to say no. And this is just a reminder, this is a demo application. So we're just going to continue with the demonstration. So this is just a check-in that we're going to start an application for 1 in Orange County. That looks correct. And then asking if you receive Social Security income. Tuffy Titan does not, so we will hit no. He is not 60 or older and does not receive disability benefits. He is a US citizen and he is a college student. So we will hit yes here. And these are special requirements. So this would actually take you to a different portion of the application because they're special requirements. So if you meet any of these, you would select them, but for Tuffy, he does not. So we'll hit continue. And then these are the longer list of eligibility criteria reviewed. So Tuffy has federal work study eligibility. He received Cal Grant A and he works 20 or more hours a week. He does not live in on-campus housing and he does not live with his parents. He is not a seasonal or migrant farmer. So now we're going to start with his income. So this is just to see how much monthly income you're making. So first, does he have a job? Yes, Tuffy does have a job. In the past 30 days, did you receive income from freelance, independent contractor, or self-employment work? This does include things like Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Instacart, having an Etsy store, things of that nature. But Tuffy does not. He has a regular position. He has not left a job in the last 30 days. And he just has one job here, but you can select as many as you need. So this is asking how much you've made in the past 30 days. So Tuffy can provide his hourly wage. So he makes $15 an hour and he works 20 hours a week. This portion is asking how much you'll make in the upcoming 30 days. So this said, based on the number, the $15 an hour times 20 hours a week, you made almost $1,300 in the last 30 days. Do you think you'll make less money? So no, he has pretty consistent hours. And then occasionally you'll see these types of boxes on the application. So this one says, is there anything else you'd like to share? These are opportunities if you'd like to include something like your position is ending, here's the deadline or the end date. If you haven't started a new job, but you were recently hired, so you don't have that pay yet, you can include anything that might be relevant here, but it's not required. Asking if you receive unemployment benefits, no, Tuffy does not. And he does not receive money from any of these sources, but here is just an example. So for example, if Tuffy's parents offered to help him with $200 a month for rent consistently, and he accepted that, that would be another source of income. But if his parents were like, here's $200 for your birthday and for Christmas, that would just be a one-time gift. That's not the same thing. So this is only if, for monthly cash from family and friends if it's consistently provided. So no here. He does not pay for child support. And this is just a review of what we input. So this is saying we said that Tuffy makes almost $1,300 per month from one job before taxes. Yes, that's correct. So we'll continue. And then hooray, we may be eligible, likely eligible for CalFresh. So we'll continue on. This next section is asking for expenses and deductions. And they'll also use this information, as you can see here, to see if you would be potentially eligible for expedited services, which would mean you would have 3 days to process your application instead of the full 30. So Tuffy pays $600 in his rent monthly. That is also just for his portion. You do not need to include the entire amount for the apartment if you have roommates. And Tuffy only pays for his cell phone. He does not pay for child or dependent care. And again, another review saying that we said we pay $600 a month in rent and we pay for a cell phone. So yes, that looks correct. We'll continue. And so great, this is letting us know that we're potentially eligible for the highest amount, which is $250 in CalFresh benefits. And just a note that if we are approved, benefits might be loaded in 2 separate payments. All right, we will continue. So now this is just asking for some personal information. So our name, great, we're still Tuffy Titan. We're just gonna say we were born on 02 and 2002. We're a male student, and if you have a social security number, you can include that. We'll just put a faux social security number here. What is the best phone number to reach you at? This is how they will call you for your phone interview. Right. So you do want to put the best number to reach you at. Okay. And the best email address for you. Then whatever language you prefer. So again, asking for your current living situation. So Tuffy does rent, but if any of these apply, you can include that. And he attends CSU Fullerton. And he lives, I will just use their fake address. In Fullerton. And then this is asking if this is the best address for him to receive mail for the next 3 months. So if that is the best place for you to receive mail, you can put that there. But maybe you would prefer to have this sent to a different address that you know you can get mail more reliably. You can include that here. So as I mentioned, you will have a phone interview with your county. This part of the application is just to include your time preferences. No guarantee that the county will call you during this time, unfortunately, but you can at least include some preferences here. So for Tuffy, Monday to Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. is the best time. So we'll just hit include that, and then we'll hit continue. You can select to receive either of these as reminders, not required, but you can select email or text messages or both. And this is asking if you'd like to have an authorized representative for your application. An authorized representative is someone who can spend your CalFresh benefits for you or make changes to your application or speak to the county on your behalf. So this is not someone from Cal State Fullerton. This would be someone, maybe a family member, if you would like that to be part of your application. But Tuffy does not want an authorized representative, so we'll hit no. And again, another opportunity, as I mentioned before, where you can include any additional information that you think might be helpful for your application. This is not required, so if there's anything else you'd like to include, you can here. Otherwise, we can move forward. These are the terms and agreements, so we encourage you to make sure you read through these thoroughly. Just for the purposes of today, we'll just kind of scroll through, but once you've read through them and if you agree, you can hit I agree and then I continue. And this is just your electronic signature here. So sign and submit. I mentioned that we have to include documentation. So we recommend, and the application recommends as well, that you submit your documentation when you're submitting your application. But you do have 30 days to submit it if you don't have it handily available. But let's just say you do. So we're going to hit continue. Here is the type of documentation you need to provide. A copy of your IDA, such as a driver's license, your pay stubs for the last 30 days, proof of your housing expenses, such as a rent receipt or a leasing agreement. Utility bills are not required. Copy of your financial aid award letter. If you are eligible for federal work study, verification of your work study approval letter, copy of your class schedule. If you're not able to submit at the time, you can always go to this link here and submit it within 30 days of you submitting that application. So you can submit proof here. This will be uploads directly from your computer. You can also take pictures with your phone. So if you have it as physical documents, you can take a picture, they'll text message you a link, and you can take pictures and it'll upload to your application. It's actually pretty cool. We'll pretend like, well, we can submit proof, but we'll actually submit proof later. But just to show you what this looks like, it goes through each individual one, and you can upload from either or. So pay stubs, housing expenses, copy of your financial aid award letter, class schedule, and then if you wanted to submit anything else. Okay. Tuffy is registered to vote. And that's it. That is the whole application. So you can see your CalFresh application has been successfully submitted. And then just reminders of what you can expect to next. So the county is going to call you. If you need to submit additional documentation after that phone call, this is where you can do it. Same link as if you didn't submit the original documentation you need as part of your application. The county will let you know if you qualify, and if you're approved, you're going to get those EBT benefits. So we went through the demo application here, but I do also want to share that in addition to our CalFresh drop-in hours and application assistance through our basic needs request form, we do also have 2 CalFresh Outreach and Enrollment Day events in the fall semester. The first one is going to be on October 18th, with the second part happening on October 20th, and then in November we'll have it on the 15th, and the second part being on the 17th. These events are 2 parts. So the first day we do application assistance with basic needs services staff. So this is where we'll help you submit your application. And then if you are able to submit your application and you're an Orange County resident, Orange County Social Services will actually come to campus on day 2 and help students with their interviews. So the benefit of this is you get expedited services and you have an in-person interview. So you don't have to wait around for that phone call. If you are approved on day 2, you might actually get your EBT card printed on site. So this is a really concise and straightforward way of applying for CalFresh benefits if you are interested in either of these events and you're an Orange County resident. Again, it has to be an Orange County resident that applies because Orange County Social Services comes to campus. So again, we have 2 days, one in October and then again in November. So thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, you can certainly stop by the center Monday through Friday from 8 to 5 at MH 143. You can also email us at basicneeds@fullerton.edu or follow us on social media. Thank you so much for your time.